just picked up this Tyco 12-wheeler locomotive. Got it delivered to the house here. And the ad mentioned that it's still sealed up. It's completely brand new. So I'm like, well, that's, and of course the box isn't real pretty. The collectors out there are gonna say, well, that ain't worth nothing. You know, it's worth something. But when you get it out, and it's still sealed in this cellophane here, so this here's a brand new locomotive, never been run. And I went there on my Facebook groups, my HO scale Facebook groups, and I took a picture of it and said, should I open it up and run it or not? And oh my God, the fighting that went on out there, holy moly. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of people with opinions, and they mean it. There's some stuff. But let me get you in here and get you a little closer to this thing, see what you think about it. Initially, I didn't really want to open it up, but the condition of the box and the condition of this, and I got to looking at it, and it looks like it was dropped in this area right here some. So I don't think that it's, and the ad had mentioned that it had been dropped just a little bit. So I'm not thinking that it's a cherry grade 5. So let's go ahead and open it up and let's see if she'll run. Oh. Did I just pull that off? Looks like I pulled it off. We should throw it up on the turntable and see what you think. These here locos were sold in 1976 and 1977. This is brand new in a package. That means it is now 45 years old. I'm going to throw some DC voltage to it, and we're going to see if it will run. Oh my. Well, it tried. I was keeping an eye on my volts, my amp meter over there, and I'm sure that all the grease and oil that's in it is old as hell, and I of course don't want to try to burn it out. It moved just a tiny little bit, so I guess we're gonna have to take it apart, and we're gonna have to give her the once over, so that way we know that we're not gonna hurt it if we run it. I ain't never had a brand new locomotive sitting out here, so I'm gonna throw an extra little bit of protection down on it so I don't scratch it all up. Looks pretty common underneath here. We'll go ahead and get rid of the tender. That's a nice heavy one too. There is a lot of weight in that. Man, I'm not gonna have to put any extra weight in that. We'll have to put that on a scale. Huh, look at that in there. Jeez, that tender weighs a lot. I just couldn't help myself. I gotta weigh it and find out. That thing comes out to almost 4.9 ounces. Wow, that is impressive. I'm thinking it's held on by this screw here that holds the boiler on. So we're gonna go ahead and pull those out. Get that front one out of there. Plus they include this little spring and a little spacer in there. You certainly don't want to lose. Oh, we've got a motor cover in here. It's got a couple locking tabs back here to get those tabs to let out. And there we go. I suppose I'm going to just desolder that wire right there. As I get closer to looking at it, I see it's not even soldered underneath of this brush right here. It's just being held in by the tension of the spring. So, boy, I've never had a brand new Tyco locomotive, and I feel like a king. I do. This is just amazing. It doesn't feel bound up in this area at all. These commutators are not pretty. I decided to go out and mow an extra couple lawns last week so I could have enough money to buy one of these fancy things I've seen being used. That is nice. Quite impressive. I'm sure this motor's held in by this bolt that's right behind this drive gear. Don't lose that little lock washer right there. Now we can just get that out of the way. Picks up some of its juice right here from the frame on the bottom. Go ahead and clean this up some. Old grease on her. Got me some odorless mineral spirits. We'll just go through here and do what we do to clean all this old grease out. Now that we got all the grease cleaned out of the axles and the gear, I'm going to give them a fresh little coat of oil right now. Put this bottom plate on so we can clean up the wheels. Give all this stuff a shot of oil here. Let's take it to the track and see how well it rolls. Would I like to see better? Yeah, I would. Do I expect much better? No, not really. Bolt this motor back into the chassis. Give it a little touch of oil here in the back. Up here in the front. A little bit of oil on the nylon gear. This gorgeous tender here. Clean the wheels up on it. Oddly enough, it sits in a package for 45 years. Corrosion still takes place. Give these guys just a little bit of oil. Clean up our other pickup right here. We should be good to go to try it out on the track. Oh yeah. Runs like a Swiss watch right now. You betcha. What kind of crawl speed do we have? That is respectable. Nice. Here's a fun bit of information for you. I built my layout 41.5 inches off the ground. This makes it just right, so when I'm sitting here in my desk chair, I can lean back with a wobbly pop, and I can enjoy this thing at almost eye level. Being that it's 41.5 inches, of course I'm pretty tall, I can still get up and reach around and touch all the things on my layout when I'm working on it. There we go. Nice times charm. Get these tabs lined up here in the back. Put these faked out steam chests in. Boy, they went all out. These little parts scare me. This looks like something that just is dying to be on the ground somewhere. Hell. Just almost doesn't seem real. Something should have went wrong. Think about these. I think that all these 12-wheelers, they all have the number 3 up here on the front, no matter what the road name is on them, or the cab number. I believe they all say 3 on them. We've got this fancy cover right here to put in there. I ain't never had such a fancy locomotive. Sure don't leave a lot of room for any engineers to stand around in there. Well, now that we got it all put back together, let's take it over to the track and see how it runs. I've been trying to run it around the track, and boy, does it, every switch, every little track imperfection, it just seems really rigid for some reason. I've adjusted the drawbar, tweaked the front truck some. Figured I'd give it about 10 minutes just running around here to break it in. I've never actually had to ever break in a locomotive before. Whenever I got them, they were well broke in. I'm real happy that the locomotive runs. About the only thing that would make me happier would be if all the hair grew back in on the top of my head. Well, I found me some old cars to put behind it that are period specific for this locomotive. When it goes around the corners, you can really hear it bind. This inside corner is a 21 degree. You can hear how that pitch changed. It doesn't really seem to like those too much. Right now it's running around the track. We are pulling just a little less than half an amp at about 6 volts. Now, of course, this thing being a Tyco, they're kind of made to run wide open like we did as kids. But of course it never looks very prototypical when they're hammered out like that. This here's 7 volts. You know, that's definitely moving right there. Still pulling half an amp. When I try to back her down to 5 volts, which seems to be the most kind of a realistic speed, this is kind of what she looks like, and it's kind of got a strain going on. Get a nice little shot of it coming here. Has this ever happened to you? I was down at my local hobby shop today, all excited because I'd found some really old Varney F3 A and B units with a powered B unit to restore on the channel. Trying to talk old trains with the guys at the hobby shop, and they are like, I like old cars, and I like old trains, and it seems like a lot of the guys that are into trains, they don't really like the old. I don't know why. I like the old ones. I know some of you guys out there like the old ones. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Are you an old train guy, or are you kind of more of a only new train kind of guy? I guess I'll put this up here along with the other steam locomotives. Make everything look pretty. And what's that? Some new coming up. Couple episodes away. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.